Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Six Nations. This one, Wales at home, taking on the Irish. Now, at the moment, Ireland are looking good for the Grand Slam, but this Welsh team, newly coached, of course, there is no Warren Gatland anymore, and the way that Ireland sit, they are at the top, Wales at the bottom. Someone's going to move here. It's either going to be, well, no, they actually could stay exactly the same, and maybe that is what will happen, but a strong starting lineup for the Irish away from home. Wales, though, have they got something in them under that new coaching structure? Looking through their starting lineup, it is going to be Nicky Smith, Elliot D, and John at number 3. Will Rowlands and Daft Jenkins in the locking duo with Morgan Reffel and Falatau there as the number 8. Thomas Williams and Gareth Anscombe. So the big change there in the 10 jersey. Some feel it's a lot better off than what they have been trying. Ben Thomas and Max Llewellyn in the midfield with me out on one wing. Not me, but me. Tom Rogers out on the other and Blair Murray at number 15. Then for this Irish starting lineup, it will be Andrew Porter, Dan Sheehan and Clarkson. At 3, Joe McCarthy and Tyke Byrne in the locking duo with Peter O'Mahony at 6, the experienced veteran, Vanden Flair and Jack Conan there too. So no Doris in the starting 3. For this contest, Jameson Gibson Park and Sam Prendergast again will be that 9-10 combination. Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose in the middle of the park. And then James Lowe, Matt Hansen and Jamie Osborne, the youngster, at number 15. He was nominated for Breakthrough Youngster of the Year alongside Wallace Satiti, who did eventually manage to win it, but certainly got plenty of potential. These are the results from the last round of the Six Nations. Italy beating Wales 22 points to 15. England with a narrow win over the French. That is still regarded as one of the best games this season for these Six Nations and possibly will be at the end of the competition as well. And then Ireland getting themselves the big win over Scotland, who were lackluster, who didn't show up, and Ireland did get themselves that bonus point. We have got there, did you manage to eat something, says Aniki. I managed to swallow a few pieces of chicken whole with a couple chews involved, but other than that, it was very quick. And I don't think I've ever eaten chicken that quick in my life, and probably never will again, but we did manage to just sneak half a snack in. And did you see who was man of the match in the Bulls-Lions game? I actually didn't. I pretty much had to go straight to the fridge to get the chicken, refill the drink bottle, because if we ran out of water, this one was going to be a tough one, seeing as the voice is already a little bit dodgy. Dan so close to the wooden spoon, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. I'll put my money on the underdog here. And miracles do happen. How was your reaction when New Zealand beat Pakistan in the Champions Trophy? You were probably happy, mate. Yeah, I was impressed with the performance overall. I mean, Latham chose the perfect time to be peaking. Williamson getting out early, that was a bit of a concern. But yeah, New Zealand bowling well too, which is great news. But this game only a couple moments away from starting up. Do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen, for this matchup, as it is just about here. But the Six Nations competition full of prestige. The Welsh want to get right back up there. Unfortunately, they have been struggling as of late on their longest ever losing streak. What will Wales have to do to get Owen Farrell on a 2-year deal? What would Wales, as in like Owen Farrell to play for them? Probably quite a bit, I would think. I don't think there'll be any hurry to do so. And here we go. Hopefully we can get on the scoreboard. Wales, says William. And come on, at least score a try for us, says Fuleshin. Just showing the benches. Of course, Bundyaki going to be off the bench in this contest rather than starting. And also off that bench, they have got Gus McCarthy, Jack Crowley, and Ken Prendergast for the Welsh. Few handy players. Aaron Wainwright, one of the more experienced heads out there for Wales. Thomas's in the locking duo. And then also Jamie Roberts, is it? Number 23 for this game? No, sorry, Joe Roberts. Now that I think about it, Jamie Roberts, I think he retired a little while ago. But Farrell will be eligible at the ripe age of 39, says Razor. Yeah, so, I mean, it would be definitely something that people probably didn't see coming in some regards. But we'll have to see whether or not it becomes a reality. I mean, Moonga, he's been rumoured for Tonga. There are a few guys looking at maybe switching alliances. Satutu for England is another one I've heard, but Christoph Ridley, he will be the referee in charge of the Six Nations fixture. Good morning, Wales, rise and shine, says JD. If Wales can do Ireland, this is the time to do it. Yeah, this is one of those matches that they've been given very little chance heading into this match. But let's see if they can do it. Ireland in the white, heading from left to right, and Talupe Faletau with a first touch and already a missed tackle from the Irish. In fact, the very first one of the match. At one point, they were sitting 0% tackling completion. Now, Thomas Williams going to be kicking this one extremely high by the looks of it. Jamie Osborne waiting for it, maybe taken out in the process, but Jameson Gibson Park gets it across to Prendergast. After James Lowe sits down the Welsh defence and Tommy Reffel. And it is great for Wales to have him back, as well as having Jack Morgan to Lupe Faletau. It's pretty much the combo that everyone wanted to see for a long time, but they haven't been able to use. I think they've got Taufa Funaki. Says Razor, if Wales could draft any player in the world, who would they take? I think they'd take a few guys higher up than Funaki, I would think, if they're allowed anyone, rather than just guys who are eligible. Knock on for the youngster Blair Murray there. Does now bring the first scrum of the match. Ireland will have the feed high. Hamish rooting for Ireland, win. But Wales will be fired up for this game, returning players and potential manager bounce. Says zero connection. And like I said, previous system, the Rand taking make the choice easy for South African rugby going north. Says Albert, and great turnout, stadium nice and full, beautiful to see, says bystander. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even though Wales have been struggling, there's still a lot of red in the stands at the Principality, which is exactly what you want. And, you know, these are the guys and gals in the stands that when this side does start winning eventually, I'm not saying they're going to be world beaters. That seems a long way away if that's the case. But at least when they start getting their first win and whatnot, those supporters in the stands are going to be the ones who said, we were with them in the hard times. I'm going to be with them in the highs as well. Daniel Leonard-Brown could be a good pick for Wales. Says Razor. And come on, Wales. It will be good to see you win. I think that is from Matthew. Now we're going to have a scrum reset here. And the bars in Cardiff will be even fuller. Says Fleshin. Yeah, in terms of the odds of this contest, of course, Ireland do come in as heavy favourites. If Wales lose by less than 15 points, it will already be a win for Wales. Yeah, like, ideally, if they were able to get a couple tries, be within 7 would be massive. Penalty goes to Wales at scrum time, so they have actually won the first one of the match. It's against Andrew Porter by the looks of it, on the far side against Will Griff John. Now, Wales is a rugby country, Amish. They are Celts. They'll always turn out for their men, win or lose, says Kerno Wick. And yeah, some other nations or some other clubs could take notes of that. I mean, we've seen it in the past, how when sides start losing, their numbers go down drastically in terms of the attendance to their games. People turn their back on them. I mean, Australian rugby could be the perfect example. People only seem to support them when they're going good. It's only that very small percentage that will stick with them through everything. But now, throwing this ball in, Wales have got possession just on the halfway line. Cross to the left, short ball from Ben Thomas. I've just said about Ben Thomas, now that he's in his familiar position at 12, will be going a lot better. And better to be a Welsh or Italian fan, too stressful for New Zealand and South African fans, and we will always be with them regardless how we have nothing else. People forget just how small a country we are, says Fleshin. Now going across to the left-hand side. Wales have put together 5 phases, but counter-ruck coming from the Irish. Jack Conan on the short side. Looks like it's going to be Gary Ringrose. Looking for the 50-20. Oh, that ball has just curled in a way that you wouldn't think it could. I think that's going to be a 50-22 for the Irish. I don't even think Gary Ringrose meant for that ball to curve the way that it did. But it certainly helped out. Australia was a World Cup winner, so I can't blame fans leaving, says Albert. Yeah, but, like, at the end of the day, like, yes, it was a long time ago for that World Cup, but you're always going to have different players. You know, it's one of those ones that you have to support a side when they're going worse. Like, if you're going to be the cheerleader when they're at their best. I think the national sport in Wales is polo, says Albert. Now sitting 10 metres out from the line, Jameson Gibson Park goes off to Josh Van Den Flair High All. Hopefully it will be a great game. Home for an Ireland win. Never be cocky against Wales at Murrayfield. Wait, at the Principality, I think that is. But yeah, Wales at home can be a dangerous side. Yes, they've struggled as of late. Jamie Osborne now 10 metres out from the line here. Chance for the Irish to strike first. 5 minutes into the contest. James Lowe 2 metres out from the try line now. And there is the advantage for not rolling away, and the penalty goes the way of the Irish. Gibson Park wanted to take it quickly, and Jeff Jenkins pretty much said, no, I'm hanging on to this one for dear life. I think the mindset from Ireland will be kick for the corner. That is pretty much the mindset they've used throughout this whole of the Six Nations competition. The interim coach, Matt Sherritt, in charge of this Welsh team. Now Dan Sheehan, 5 metres from the try line. Rolling maul will definitely be on the cards, although has gone down to a knee, so they do have to use it in a different way here. Gibson Park across into the midfield, where we do see Robbie Henshaw starting as inside centre. Short ball from Gibson Park. It was flat to Tyg Byrne, who gets driven backwards. Weather conditions, they are indoors, but it is currently, I'm not sure of the temperature. I assume it's about maybe 15, 20 degrees Celsius, something along those lines, maybe even a little bit colder. But yeah, no wind to deal with because of the roof being closed for this one. Now around the side, pick and go from Joe McCarthy. He almost went in. And now a little bit of a handling error from Gibson Park. Big fend from Conan. Big brothered Thomas Williams there. They might just check to see whether or not there was the knock-on in the build-up to the play. But Jack Conan, he has much longer arms than his opposite number, or his counter in that case, Thomas Williams, and just kind of held him off with the fend to the face. And then does score the try. A real defensive mismatch in that case. We're going to see here for Gibson Park. It might have just gone backwards in that case. We've seen them called before, though. And then we see him there just extending the forearm and getting rid of Thomas Williams. Stretch Armstrong says Donaldo. It sounds like the national sport in South Africa is finding money for the electric meter. Just now, only joking, fellas. Says Kurno Rick, my time in Wales during the 1990s. I was okay, and okay is amazing these days, says ROP. Kick has gone over from Prendergast, and early on in this contest, it's going to be 7 points to 0. So, pretty much exactly what they would have been after. Good start from Ireland, says Brian, and listen to you from Clarence, says Michael again. It's great to have you back. And of course, after this game, we are covering the match between England and Scotland. Another match for the day. It will be the last rugby union game of the 24 hours until, of course, France versus Italy does roll around. But we are working our way through the live streams. Plenty of them throughout this weekend. Very little sleep, but I'm still awake, which I'm surprised about, seeing as I've been up for about 20, 21 hours, something like that at the moment, and we're just still hyper. Must have been that roast chicken. Kicked off now by the Welsh. Nicely taken. Oh, that's looking high on Robbie Henshaw from Daft Jenkins. Maybe got him in the chest, though. That is, if there's no load shedding, says Aniki. Now, kicked high from Jameson Gibson Park, and does get the ball into touch. And snorting coffee helps you wake up. That probably would also cause more damage, I would think, too. But yeah, I got the water today. That's been working a treat. Ball about to be thrown in by Elliot D. So they've got Elliot D and Alice Me in this Welsh lineup. Just a bit of fun rhyming. Hopefully they can have some fun scoring tries. Thomas Williams back into the pocket. A lot of pressure coming on, but Gareth Anscombe gets the kick up high. Nicely taken under the high ball for Tom Rogers. You had some chicken. I managed to sneak a couple pieces in between those live streams. I had to eat it extremely quickly, though, to try and have time to set up this stream and be roughly on time. That game between the two URC sides going 2 hours, 5 minutes. One of the longest games we've seen of the URC this season. Thomas Williams back across. Gareth Anscombe. Good face play here from Wales. Up to 7 in a row. Gareth Anscombe again trying to go through, but a low tackle on him by Gary Ringrose, who was already filthy by the looks of it. He's been sliding on his back at some point in the early stages of this match. Now, Williams, back again. Skip pass out wide to the youngster Ben Thomas, and they will go back for the original penalty for Wales. Right, this is where the decision needs to be made. If you're Wales, do you take 3 points here? Or do you have to look at the mentality of, we're not going to win this game with threes. Ireland are going to keep on going for the corner. We need 7. A ref could get penalised match fee for going over 2 hours, I think, says Albert. And they certainly did that. 2 hours, 5 minutes. And it didn't even seem like there was just a few injury stoppages and the TMO. Oh, no, in fact, my apologies. It's actually the Irish penalty. Okay, so that must have been a TMO decision, I would assume, the fact that the ref did go back for it. I thought they had a penalty advantage and they were going back for Wales's choice, but no, in fact, they don't get to choose either. A name a Welshman in your all-time 22. 22 or 23? I mean, like, when you look at locks, I mean, Alan Wynne-Jones in terms of longevity, bit of push and shove here between James Lowe and I think that's Elliot D. And hello, I'm back now, finished all the shopping. You probably get a Williams in there or a Davis in there for the 23, to be fair. There's a lot of those guys who have been around. And we have got there. Right, hello, I'm back now, finished all the shopping. Says Russo, it is great to have you back. And eating chicken like you sneaked in the cinema, that's the best way to eat chicken, says Donaldo. Yeah, I pretty much just inhaled it like a seagull would a chip. So that's a nice visual to give you. Now scrum feed. And the penalty does go the way of the Welsh again. That is now 2 penalties within the scrum that Wales have been able to get. Sam Warburton, very good option as well. Now Anscombe will be able to kick this one downfield. Relieve some of the pressure, but early pressure on this front row. Why don't you go do them in one go, Ruth, says Spider Mick. Already 12 minutes into this contest, looking like a few happy fans in the stands. That looks like an inflatable Welsh Rugby Union inflatable logo, I think that was. Now over the top, Josh Van den Flower at the back. Has claimed it. Now, Ireland in possession yet again. I like inhaling chicken too. It's the quickest way to eat it. It absolutely is. Cross kick from Sam Prendergast straight into the hands of Mac Hansen. Lives dangerously near the sideline. Chips it downfield. Gibson Park looking for the bounce of the ball, but it is going to sit up now for Wales, but under all sorts of pressure. It is politically correct to name one player in your 23 from the person's country who asked you. Says RIP. I think Scott Gibbs was the greatest player Wales has ever produced, homegrown, says Albert there. Now 13 minutes in, Thomas Williams only maybe 2 metres out from the try line. His own, that is, so has to roll this one back and go for the box kick. And does get the ball into touch. But frantic pace to start this game off out. I think Ireland will love this, because they'll know that Wales, as this match wears on, they will start to tire, which will work in their favour. Just a foot race there, nicely claimed at the back for the youngster Elliot Me. We have got there, so chicken farts and not chicken. I'm confused. What does that have to do with anything, Drape? I know we mentioned chicken, but surprising your mind went there. And big one, nicer stuff like cold meats, cheese, rolls, crisp and chocolate. And under pressure, good defence, Wales, says JD. Now Ireland, going off to the right-hand side. James Lowe gets the offload to Ringrose. Runs it straight at Will Rowlands. Chicken nuggets with chili pepper sauce. Hamish is back. Missed your beautiful face, says Bow Bite. Welcome back, mate. It's been a little while. So it's good to see you. It's the Six Nations up to round 3 now, well and truly in effect. Any live stream links? Unfortunately, I think the only options to watch these games for free are when you are in certain Six Nations countries. But the best way to look it up is the Six Nations website. They will have, depending on what country you're in, your viewing options. So I would recommend checking that one out. I think it's going to be a green, white, and French blue weekend, says Ross Wiffer. Okay, so you go on England, Ireland, and France as the victors in their respective games. I believe that is the three favourites, if I'm not wrong. And Jonathan Davis, I would have got in most teams, says Fletcher. Now, Gibson Park back to the right. Peter O'Mahony. A lot of experience for him, 35 years of age and still going for this Irish team. Well, speaking of still going, someone like a Cian Healy, although he's not playing in this game now. James Lowe. Moving to 10 metres out. BBC up here. And Southpack, they would eat the whole chicken in reverse, says Donaldo. I have no idea what that means, but that is going to be a knock-on from Lowe on the ground. So again, Wales will have the scrum feed, and they'll feel relatively confident here. They've managed to get 2 scrum penalties already throughout the first 15 minutes of this contest. So that might be a confidence booster. Just get yourself a couple more penalties under the belt. Eventually, the ref might look to the pocket. The action areas at the moment, only 4% has happened inside of the Irish 22. And our good defence, boys, says JD. But yeah, for Wales, they just can't leak easy tries here. That first one was a bit of a defensive error. They will be disappointed about. But if they can just shut down this Irish attack for long enough and create, just a couple chances for themselves, it would be massively beneficial. Big push, another advantage at scrum time for Wales, and they do get the penalty. Ireland are just getting into their swing here. Says Brian, Shane Williams was fantastic. Truly one of the many players Wales are missing now. And the Scarlett Davis are not that old league reject, says Fletcher. Three scrum penalties already in favour of Wales. Like I mentioned, enjoying a scotch and will indulge in lamb loin chops and salad a bit later on, says Stefan. But now, 72,500 watching on from in the stadium. Massive crowd for this contest. And Wales are on the halfway line, which did get a little bit of an extra cheer from the grandstands. Asking 5 or 6 in the line out. Looks like they are going to be going with the 5. Now rolling maul attempted here for Wales. Doesn't really go anywhere. But on the halfway line, Thomas Williams back into the pocket. Finds Gareth Anscombe. This one's going to be chased hard by Tom Rogers, who's already shown that he is extremely handy under the high ball. Wales are done. They need Jesus badly, says Dorfin. We have got there. I just had a pork roast. Wait, no, just put a pork roast on cooking. It should be ready by lunchtime, says Matthew. So what time is it where you are at the moment, Matthew? Out of curiosity, unless maybe, no, it's not New Zealand, is it? Because if so, then it will be very slow roasted. Will be extremely tender. Kicked high from Gareth Anscombe. Matt Hansen going forward for it, but slapped back by the youngster Blair Murray. Loose ball picked up by Tommy Reffel. Finds the offload to Felipe Falatau. Or Talupe Falatau, I should say. Elliot D on the halfway line again here for Wales. They're starting to slowly build their way down the field. And that's going to be the interception. Just as I said that, Ireland do brilliantly and take that ball back. James Gibson Park going for the kick in behind. Sees quite a bit of space to work with. And Blair Murray, he can just let that one go into the in-goal area. In fact, that time it's Alice Mee. And a goal line dropout for the Welsh. Rugby needs cheerleaders in skin-tight shirts, says Donaldo. I know that the South African sides have cheerleaders. I don't know whether they wear skin-tight attire, but they do have the cheerleaders over there. Busy making homemade pure beef hamburgers with a ton of cheese, says Albert. Right, Nicky Smith, he is going to be going off the field. This is for a head injury assessment. This is a big call. He's going stupid mouth guard. I'm fine. And he is frustrated. And you would be, because Wales have been dominating the scrum. What time is the South African game? Says Mohadeen. So for the 7 side of things, I think it's at about maybe 9 p.m. South African time. I'll get the exact time for you now, though, while this play is taking place. Now, nice attack and run from Dan Sheehan. Tries the risky offload, and it's picked up by Wales with Thomas Williams. Look for a flick pass out the back. I'm not sure whether that was the first initial plan for him. And it's 9:39 or 9:35 a.m., says Razor Robinson. And yeah, just knocking it on in the process. Avram listening for 35. And those mouth guards aren't great. Yeah, he looked completely fine. Like, maybe if he doesn't pass the HIA, we can say it was the right one. But if not, he was going to be very frustrated. So it is 8:36 a.m. New Zealand time. So that will be 9:35 p.m. for you guys in South Africa for the South Africa versus Australia Sevens match. We are going to be covering that one on the channel. We will be scheduling it in between these next two Six Nations game. This is what they do. The Scottish, two Scottish players last year took them off because of gum shield. Says power bite. Yeah, we are going to get to see a scrum now. Will they be able to dominate it as much as they just were? Or with the absence of Nicky Smith, is that going to make all of the difference? We will soon find out. And right, went from potato sack, baggy clothing to skin tight kit, says Donaldo. And Jamie Roberts and or Bundyaki was the best crash ball. I mean, Bundyaki has certainly proven recently how dangerous he can be when the crash ball side of things happens. Like Jamie Roberts back in his day, though, was able to really bulldoze forward. And JPR Williams is a name always mentioned when talking old school wings, says Drape. But now it's going to be the scrum feed, already a quarter of the way through this contest. Blitzbox beat Ireland 28 points to 7. Odd to see New Zealand, Australia, South Africa and Ireland in one pool. Yeah, it's certainly a tough group to deal with. And Ireland need to get their scrums right, says Brian, and that is the penalty to Ireland. See, that's a shame. Definitely if Nicky Smith is fine and he makes his way back out without a head knock or without failing his HIA, because they've gone from dominating scrums to now the man who's just made his way on has been penalised, and Ireland will take the 3 because of it. Gumshield Saga is just like the bunker. A bunch of people in a capital city thousands or hundreds of miles away deciding what happens in a game. They're not attending. They think South Africa will win. They should have a decent chance up against the Australians. But now, Sam Prendergast, this is going to be an easy 3 points. So Wales have to hold on and stop giving away penalties, says Ruth. They've just said Nicky Smith goes off. Gareth Thomas comes on. First penalty goes against the Irish. Now Prendergast, he does get the 3 points. So it now makes the score 10 points to 0 in favour of Ireland. Wales have to hold on. And my bad fullback says the rape. Okay, I was just listening about what they were doing for the scrums. The ref said that the height was fine, but it was just that little bit of extra pressure. Now 21 minutes in, Jonathan Davis was a supreme player. Jonathan Fox Davis, also a good player. Says power bite, a new coach with Wales will take a few games to settle in. Already have major changes to the team positive, says Neville. Yeah, and pretty much the first one that was really talked about is the fact that he's got Ben Thomas playing at 12 rather than 10. And speaking of, Thomas had the ball trying to shift that one on. Goes on the outside to Tom Rogers. And we have got there, they should have male cheerleaders in tight lycra shorts and leather boots, says Ruth. It's going to be the offside penalty going against Ireland. Wales, do they want to take this one quickly? They're definitely shuffling towards it, but this is a 3-pointer if they want it. It's easy enough, but all right, they are taking the shot. Seems like the good move just now. Coach is watching on eagerly here. And yes, Lay's assaulted, says Ruth. Yeah, big shot on Tyke Byrne. And Super Rugby is the tournament of the year at the moment. Each round brings something unexpected, says Razor Robinson. And Flesh and Peterson and Jefferson, says Ruth. Although a couple upsets in this round of the Six Nations could certainly cause, a bit of excitement in the later stages. It does look like the Irish Grand Slam is well and truly on the cards, though. That kick has gone over from Wales, making the score 10 points to 3. Of course, the next game, England versus Scotland, that will be extremely competitive. It does take place. That is 1 try on the board for the Irish. Currently, as we sit, they would need 3 more to get themselves the bonus point. And I don't know whether or not the Six Nations will come down to it, but that Ireland versus France game, depending on who has those bonus points leading into that game, could be very crucial. Thomas Williams kicking this one downfield and does get it into touch. Jamie Osborne leaves it alone and hold the ball. And Irish have come in from nowhere to being absolutely ruthless. Yeah, they're a side that have had real good consistency. And yes, as soon as you mention that, people always mention that World Cup. But up until then, the Irish, they were just on fire with the way that they were playing. Week in, week out, putting in great performances up against top sides. What had happened to the Shark Strippers anyway? My Australian friend said it was the only good thing about our rugby. That, did they actually have, strippers, or were they cheerleaders? Because that's an interesting choice of the sideline. Probably not allowed to do it nowadays, I would say. But now, Wales, yet again, with some more possession. They've actually had quite a bit of the ball throughout the early stages of this match. And now going to be using their back line. James Lowe caught off his wing, misses the tackle. Attempt on me. It's going to be a name to get used to. Now, Wales decide to go for the kick. Little bit of a counter ruck in the breakdown. Jameson Gibson Park is there to clean up. Ireland do need to get the bonus points. There's a little bit of extra space against France. Here's Brian. I'd love to see Wales beat Ireland. Would open up the whole Six Nations. Don't see it though. Here's Donaldo. Principality really getting behind the home side here. They want to see some magic happening. And they flash their black bikinis. Says RIP. And the difference between Ireland and Wales is that literally billions of euros have been poured into Irish rugby, while Welsh rugby has had pennies invested into it. And the Irish don't want to peak too much before 2027, says Jaden. Now going to the short side. Oh, drop ball from Thomas Williams. I think the pass would have been forward anyway. A half a chance there again for this Welsh side. Come on, Wales, says Donaldo. But they are feeling it here. The Welsh, they're keeping themselves in this contest. But yeah, just a drop ball from Thomas Williams. Silly pass. Hold it. That's how we're ever going to win the next World Cup, said Matthew Lloyd, who was the best Welsh scrum half, guys. Says Ruth. And the Welsh coaches, they almost couldn't believe that ball had been put down. It was a great support run from Thomas Williams, though. Already seems to be just a bit more of a better mentality from this Welsh side. My name in Welsh would be David Up Edward. And they match my black jandals. And there too. And Lee Halfpenny was decent for Wales. He's 36 now, third highest point scorer after Neil Jenkins and Stephen Jones. We got ourselves another scrum reset. Still waiting to see Nicky Smith come back. Maybe that man did have a bigger knock than he first thought. And him not being able to return will certainly affect the scrums throughout this match. And my mother's maiden name was Jones, says Ruth. And Gareth Edwards in the chat too. I can't believe we're already 26 minutes in. I'm looking at the scoreboard almost in disbelief. Feels like only a few minutes ago I was trying to scoff down some chicken before the live stream started. Now here we are, already 34 minutes into the stream as well. And now off the back here, chance for Jack Conan. He has scored the lone try for the Irish at this point. Gibson Park. Back into the pocket to James Lowe, who of course has that very long left boot. Irish will pull away in the second half. Says Power Bite. And are all Welsh people called Jones? No, there's also a few Williamses in there. Davis is another very common Welsh surname. Now line out here for Wales. Shane Williams was one hell of a winger. And who is the new coach? So the fill-in coach, I'll be honest, they showed it before and I said his name and I've already forgotten it. It's like Spitler? What is the name of the fill-in coach? And Jones, Williams, Davis, Llewellyn and Roberts. Fantastic kick from Lowe. So here's Brian, but now rolling ball attempted here from the Welsh on the halfway line. Going back across to the left. Good hands from the youngster, Me. I'm going to have to start saying his first name too, or else it just sounds like I'm praising myself. But Ellis Me Was. How can they up the Irish? Says Rugby itch. A big shot coming in on Gareth Thomas. A wide to Lupe Falatau. Having to defend hard here, Ireland. They are being pushed a little bit. Our coach is Sherritt. What did I call him? I can't even remember what I called him as my guess. And now wide to Jack Morgan. Matt Hansen has to get out of that breakdown. A little bit of a counter-up coming from Jack Conan. Still face play happening here for Wales. Looks like Thomas Williams now will go back into the pocket. 30 minutes is only 10 points to 3. Islanders washed, says JP, but it's going to be kicked high. No one really chasing after this one. Too hard for Wales. James Lowe now space on the short side. Goes with the kick in behind. Liam Murray has to get back. Plenty of pressure on him. Just a couple metres out from his line. Wrong foots James Lowe. And does kick it into touch. A few Barretts for the All Blacks. And the Jones parents must be proud of all their sons, says Razor. Yeah, just short of going into the in-goal area, and it was a really good step from Blair Murray to get around James Lowe and still get a decent clearing kick on it. Razor, are you impressed with the New Zealand team so far? Says Ruth. And too many Barretts now, says Drape. Now claimed by the Irish. 40 metres out, James Lowe. Cross to the right. Prendergast. Short ball to Jamie Osborne. Oh, okay. No, he's all right. I thought there might have been an injury there to Max Llewell, and it looked like he was a bit slower getting up, but he was just waiting for that next pass to take place. Joe McCarthy offloads to Peter O'Mahony. 22 metres out from the line now for Ireland. They've got numbers on the left. Matt Hansen offloads on the outside to Jamie Osborne. One more pass and can't bring it in for Gary Ringrose. Just a little bit too far out in front of him. But it could have been another try there for Ireland. Just getting that last pass slightly wrong for Osborne. Needed a bit more on it and a bit more height too. Lee Halfpenny, greatest Welsh player ever. And they say Lowe isn't that fast, but he looks quick there, says Brian. Yeah, he can move. Like, people look at his frame and say, oh, no, he hasn't got a lot of pace. But when he gets motoring, he can be a very quick individual. Remember that Hairbears prop duo for Wales, or are you too young, Hamish? Is one of them in the coaching box now, out of curiosity? Is he one of the two? And Ahoy Champ says, 1 Bosch, welcome in. Wales have nothing to lose, no more Gatlin. They won't win this game, but already a moral victory to have some points on the board. Can't have another France battering 40+0. Says here. You have to be careful of the Celtic disguise. Billionaire JP Morgan. /were none of them Welsh. Says Bowbite. Not a great pass from Osborne. Yeah, just needed to find the hands of Ringrose. And more than likely would have been a nice easy run-in for him. And Halfpenny better than JPR. Now it is going to be a knock-on and the scrum for Wales. They have opted for the scrum here rather than going for the line out. And come on, Wales, stop beaching and play like Seabreeze. And Osborne finding gaps, says JD. Yeah, he's looked handy when he joins that line. Linking up nicely with Sam Prendergast. Now another scrum feed. They are back to their front row. So Nicky Smith obviously passed the HIA. And maybe Hamish, I can't see the coaching box, no super sport. Says RIP. And now Thomas Williams to put this ball in. And you would assume that they are going to go for, once again, that big push. Everything has collapsed there and no one gets the advantage. I would have thought that the Force would be 2 from 2 and the Blues 0 from 2. Says Rugby Itch. Yeah, playing as the better Blue side at the moment in the competition, I guess. Yeah, up against the Brumbies too. To get a win there is a pretty big one. The Hairbears were both Joneses. Sears Power Bite. And Razor Robinson, both awesome players. One from the 70s, one from the 80s. And Sirius says RIP. Sam Prendergast getting run over by Jack Morgan. Now Dan Sheehan ready for this line out. I think Ireland would be disappointed to not have another try by half-time here. Four-man line out. They go to the front. Doesn't go into the hands of Jameson Gibson Park straight away, but does regather. And now around the halfway line, possession for the Irish, but for how long? Counter-ruck coming from Wales, and they get the penalty for the not releasing. That is a big one there. I think Adam Jones, the hairbear, is in the coaching box. I guess because I can't see, says Power Bite. And Stephen Jones, Owen Jones, and bring back Jones, says RIP. I feel like the name Jones has been mentioned a lot. And it's Adam Jones who is coaching the scrum. Okay, so he is one of the two hairbears there. But now, going into touch. This will be about 22 metres out from the line now. And again, another attacking situation for Wales. If they can score before half-time, boy, that would be a confidence booster for this side. Now, line out has to be consistent. Brumbies 2 losses now. Round 4, maybe, I don't know. No, they did get a win in the first round up against the Fijian Drua. So at the moment, the only sides with 2 losses are the Drua, the Blues, and I think that's it at this point in time. Now Wales slowly working their way towards the try line. Jack Morgan. Now Williams. The crowd are getting louder and louder with every metre that this Welsh side are making. To 6 phases again. That is one thing that I still can't get over, is how good their phase play has been throughout this match. And maybe Ireland haven't been as aggressive trying to get into those breakdowns, waiting for Wales to make the mistake. They haven't come too often. Are Ireland running a B team today? Why is the score margin so small? No, it is pretty much the A side. Like, they're missing Caelan Doris. They've got Bundy Aki off the bench, but still, I mean, Henshaw's on there for Bundy, so it's not exactly a massive downgrade. Now Wales up to 11 phases. Here comes Nicky Smith. Bumps out of the challenge of Tyke Byrne. Williams. And Skim. Oh, that's close to a turnover this time for the Irish. No, giving away the advantage in the breakdown, which now means Wales can once again throw everything into this. The wide cutout pass going out into the hands of Tom Rogers. In fact, no, sorry, this time it's Ben Thomas, and they will go back for the original penalty. Pretty decent Ireland team sheet, says Albert. And Ushbauer needed. And JPR had his face stamped on a hole put. And a hole put in his cheek. Oh, Ireland 14, that is Mac Hansen. Oh no, 13. This is going to be a TMO decision. I don't know whether this is in his favour or against Ringrose here. Okay, I just missed that because I was opening my bottle, so I forgot to listen, but it's something to do with Irish 13. We are soon to know. Okay, it's Gary Ringrose. Big contact on Ben Thomas. They will be looking at this one again multiple times. He slips into it, but I think this is going to be a yellow card for Gary Ringrose. Meets the yellow card threshold. I've said it could have been lower. So it's going to be off-field review. Ringrose, he will be very disappointed about that. And now 6 minutes remaining, and the Irish will be down a man. There is pressure on them at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. This Welsh side have come out with a plan. Currently sticking to it, and it looks like they are going to line up the extra 3 points for Gareth Anscombe. And head contact, says JD, like they've said it, they'll be amazed if it goes up to a red. But I mean, it is head-on-head contact. He slips over, though. Don't put so much vodka in that water bottle or you'll miss these things, says Neville. Okay, so they've just said there, if it's upgraded to red, Ringrose can be replaced after 20 minutes has passed. But I don't see it being upgraded. How many times have you filled your water bottle since you started streaming yesterday? I think this is about our 5th or 6th refill. I'm pretty much refilling it in between all the Union streams just to make sure that we've got some water. But yeah, apologising there, Ringrose, as he goes past. Jones passes to Jones, who refuses to pass to Edwards. Says Flesham, but now making the score 6 points to 10. Still 5 minutes remaining in this first half of rugby. I have to admit it, it looks a bit borderline, says Brian. But yeah, unfortunately, as he slipped over, you lose all control. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they actually rule this. You got Superhuman, Marathon Commentary King, says Ruth. Now, that's going to be an advantage in favour of the Irish. It is for playing a man off the ball. In this case, it was Tyburn, chipped in behind and claimed by Wales. It's Harry Potter, a Welsh player. I think he's English. I could be wrong. And Wales looking better than Scotland at this point. Says Power Bite and about 14 degrees outside the stadium. Says Tiger. Final score 11-43 in favour of the Irish, who are actually opting to take the 3 points here. That is a big one. Normally we would see Ireland continue to be aggressive, but I think they've had that realisation. It's going to be a bit of a fight. Harry Potter's actually Australian, says Power Bite there. Thank you for the correction. So they're implementing the 20-minute red card still. Thought World Rugby scrapped it for now. Says Lilia B. They did, but then I think they brought it back. So Six Nations is a competition. They've decided to stick with it. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone balls. And I'll be honest, says Brian. And can't pull away, you're right in the moment. I've been there before, says JD. Now Prendergast has missed. It's hit the post. And the uncharacteristic choice of going for 3 has backfired for the Irish. Now Ellis Me tries to make his way through. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a red, says Brian. Yeah, it honestly could go either way. The TMO will be firmly in charge of picking how it kind of has as the outcome, or what the outcome is. That was a much better way of wording it than that first attempt. That first half that I said was just not a sentence. That's going to be knocked on by Sam Prendergast on the halfway line to Lupe Falatau, going off to the right. And now, Llewellyn almost sneaking through. Now in the middle of the field, Will Griff John. To the left again here. Wales have numbers. It's about a 4-on-2. Gibson Park. Oh, it's been dropped cold. Picked up by Matt Ganson, who kicks it in behind, which normally means advantage over. And they will go back for it, though. Under pressure, says Ridley. So another scrum feed here. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And it has been a lot closer than I think a lot of people would have been anticipating. But it is what happens in the second 40 minutes that could be the difference maker. Well, the score is closer than I thought, says RIP. And the Scots are a strange team. I'm never convinced they have the right attitude unless it's England in front of them. And I'm from Durban. Last week, a white Puma shirt with black letters. Today, opposite colours. I prefer the white shirt, says Brian. Well, I will keep it in mind for future live streams. The first time ever, says Tiger. And fun fact, there hasn't been a Jones in a Welsh team for over 1,000 minutes. Wow. So who was the last Jones? I'm trying to think. Was it Wyn Jones? I guess he's been out for a little while, hasn't he? So it's probably the last Jones that they've had. And Harry Potter was born in Wimbledon, London, UK, British citizen. Eligible to represent both Australia and England. And that's going to be another scrum feed going in favour of the Welsh. And there's a bit of push and shove too. But the penalty to Wales, I think it was Wyn Jones, says Tiger. Do you have flies in New Zealand, Hamish, or too close to Antarctica? There are plenty of flies around. But Smith, D, and Will Griff John are handling business out there at scrum time. Now, another line out 4 a.m. You're a keen man, love rugger. Miss Holmes, says Russ. Yeah, currently 4 a.m. here. We are also going to be covering that match between Scotland and England. That'll be our 5th union stream in a row. So we've been really racking up the numbers today on the channel. So anyone who is new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated you all being here. If you are new, we do this every single week. Maybe not quite to this extent. Not the 26 or so hours a weekend, but, a good few live streams taking place. We cover all the Six Nations. What Harry Potter are you talking about? Says Albert, the one who plays for the Western Force, who also was playing for, I think it was the Leicester Tigers last year. Now it's going to be an advantage at rolling maul time for the Welsh. Thomas Williams looking for the ball. He's got it. Goes to the short side. Going to be just short. Thought about reaching out, but can't quite get there. And now Wales with Talupe Faletau. He too will be just half an inch out. Who's going to be able to finish the job here for Wales, which would give them a lead at halftime? Bet you no one was predicting that. Now still just the meter out. They still have the penalty advantage too. Ben Thomas goes across. Anscombe across into the middle of the field. Blair Murray tackled by James Lowe. Now Williams slinging past the Talupe Faletau, and they'll go back for another penalty. Do they take the 3 here and get them within 1? Within the 3-pointer for the second half? And wait, there actually is a Harry Potter. I thought you were on the one-up. No, he actually is a player. But he was not named after the books or the movies because he was actually born, I think it was a year or so before the books came out. So just the unfortunate nature of having the same name as a wizard. Daniel Radcliffe was in the 2020 movie called Escape from Pretoria. Saw it, was pretty good, based on a true story. Says bystander. And advantage is quick tap, boys. So they have decided to kick this one for the corner rather than going for the 3 points. So the aggressive mindset now. Tell me what's happening with the Blues this year. 2 played and 2 lost. Yeah, not the best start to the season for the Blues, but they'll be back. I think that their discipline's been letting them down. Also just the handling. The amount of times that they just dropped the ball cold was massive. And now trying to get the rolling maul going here for Wales. It looks like it's not exactly going forward, but not exactly going backward either. They've been told to use it. Ty Byrne trying to get through the middle. Now it's starting to move. That ball might be trapped. No, it's available at the back for Thomas Williams. Pops it up to Tommy Reffel. No advantage at the moment against the Irish. Will Griff John. Ireland having to work hard defensively here, being pushed more than they would have been expecting for this contest. Thomas Williams, short ball, once again trying to reach out a half an inch short of the try line. Looking to use their forwards again here. Little pop pass up, well defended by the men in the white today. Now, pick and go, taking their time once again, just short. All Wales changing the tactic, running a few men to this near side of the field. Now again, using the big forwards. They're over the line, or are they? Yes, they are, and Wales will go into half-time in the lead. Is this a C team for Ireland? It is not. It is pretty much the A side, with the exception of a couple injuries and little changes to have them coming off the bench rather than starting. Come on, call half-time already. Sheesh says the benches. But now Wales taking the lead at half-time. Who would have seen it coming? And score is also not going to be that, by the way. It's more than likely going to be 13 with the kick going over. Hamish, go get some more chicken. Nah, we're all right for now. We've had our chicken fix. But that is a try and a half from Wales. Just the determination to keep on going. I know my hat says Stephen, well done. I'm glad I wasn't all cocky in this game, says Brian. And yes, sir, one of the Jones scored. But kicks it over, making the score now 13 points to 10 at half-time. And OMG Wales are cooking, says 9HD. And who would have thought, says Lily B, what the F is happening? That score is ridiculous. And Hamish, a perfect chance to go to the kitchen and cook us some eggs, says Powerbite, in the best half in Welsh Rugby in a good while. And yeah, it's come down to having a bit of scrum dominance, making that change, taking the risk, and it's paid off. And Harry Potter, born 15th of December 1997, played for the Leicester Tigers and then the Western Force, and that's where you great commentary, Hamish, says Russell. Thank you very much for being here. Crusaders was brilliant last weekend and awful that it looks like they are the real deal this year, says Mornay. And we have there, the sun is out and it's balmy 13 degrees and I'm on the vodka. Somehow we are winning at halftime, says Fletcher, although a lot of people, of course, know that that second 40 will be the big one for them. If they can somehow win it, though, like, what does that do for the Welsh confidence to be able to end the streak against the Irish? We don't want to get too far ahead, though. Still plenty of time remaining in this contest. We will get some stats about that first half now. And we have got there, was a long-haired Bucky's Botha, and what a first half. If Ireland is down to 14, it's going to be very difficult second half for us. And did you see any of the Puppy Bowl a couple of weeks ago, Silly Fun? I did not, unfortunately. I needed to Google it, but then I did actually forget about it, unfortunately. I did watch the actual Super Bowl. I was quite confused at times, but, big win for the underdogs, I believe, in that one. The side that weren't the Chiefs. I can't even remember who it was. But we will see the match centre, and we'll see the stats for this one. I think Ireland will make a comeback. Let's see. Says Sergio. Hello, fellow New Zealander, says Sterne. Welcome in. Nice early morning start for us here in New Zealand. Standout players in the first half. I think for the Welsh, Talupe Falatau had some decent work. I think that the front row all needs credit for the Welsh because they were able to win so many penalties in a row. Eagles, that'll be the ones. And Eagles beat the Chiefs in the NFL. Says bystanders. And then also, Anscombe's just looked in control in that 10 jersey. And then in terms of the Irish standouts, Lowe's been all right. Overall, Mac Hansen, haven't really seen him much. Ringrose went off the field with a yellow. McCarthy, decent runs. Paul Gatlin, great 7 to the rugby, but he must be crushed. There's Steve. And Paul Gatlin turns out getting the basics right. First gets you going, says Albert. And what a shocker so far, says Ilmar. Just a few errors from Ireland that have led to great opportunity for the Welsh, who have had 62% possession. They are still only considered as 28% likely, though, to go on to win this game. The scoreline is hot, says Donaldo. And Wales can win, then so can Scotland, says on the right. Just going to have a very quick look here in terms of the odds. What do Wales sit at in the current point in time? Currently, Wales, they don't actually have betting during the match here in New Zealand, but I would assume that they are still probably about $4 underdogs in this matchup. Looking through at a few of the other stats, attacking minutes, 9.3 for the Welsh compared to 6.5 of Ireland, 1 try apiece. First try of the contest was scored by Jack Conan, and then the try coming back right at the end of the half for the Welsh meters carried, 358 meters for Wales, 244 for Ireland. Meters gained, 149 compared to the 101. More line breaks, more defenders beaten. Wales beating 14. Ireland only beating the 6. Offloads have had more. Wales have had more handling errors, to be fair. But other than that, they're dominating on the stats. Across the board, tackles made. They have made 91% of their tackles. Ireland only tackling at a 87% completion here. When Wales play well, they frustrate the other team so well. Says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And Wales have made a phenomenal improvement since the departure of Warren Gatlin. Still can't see them beating Ireland, though. That's the thing. They have certainly given themselves a great chance. Discipline, 8 penalties against the Irish. They've been a little bit ill-disciplined. About 4 of those coming from the scrum. And then also alongside that, we should mention the yellow card of Gary Ringrose. Just adding a little bit more drama to that first 40 minutes. The ref will be even out his decision eventually, says Barton. And from an Irish fan, great to see Wales back playing rugby. The second half will tell all, says Brian. In terms of the breakdown, Rucks 1, we've seen 61% for the Irish being within that 0 to 3 seconds. Not many Rucks being extremely slow. It's a pretty even overall in terms of some of those stats when it comes to the set piece, except for the scrum. That is where the big difference maker is. An Irish fan, hard to complain. The team that are playing the better rugby are leading. Hope Ireland turn it around in the second half. And this card decision will be very important. That is true. We still don't know whether or not Ringrose, 20-minute read confirmed, says Cherry there. So we haven't actually heard that one as of yet for us here in New Zealand. It still has it down as a yellow card. I reckon you'd whip Wales into shape by showing them a picture of Antoine Dupont. Wales have a game plan, yes. But a lot closer in this game than many people did expect, which I think is great for the Six Nations as a whole. But it's what happens in this next 40 minutes. Whether or not Wales can stay in it or whether they find themselves drifting behind. Because if they do drift behind, I just don't see them coming back into it. If at any point in this game from here on out, Ireland have a lead of 10 or more, I think they'll win it. But Wales are not making it easy. And that is great news. And of course, we've got another Six Nations game just around the corner, confirmed on BBC also. It is going to be upgraded. That is huge. And that now means that the Welsh, they'll have a man advantage for a little bit longer. We have got there, red still means that player can't come back after 20 minutes, just replaced. Exactly right, yep. And Gatlin says, Sergio, and I hope I don't have to bury my head in the sand later. I support Scotland, says Neville. They're doing well. It doesn't mean they are back. That is the English mentality, one win. And they think they will be world champs. This is a complete rebuild, not one game. Good luck, Wales, of course, says here. And we have got there, the Welsh are back, says RIP. Hi, Olin Hamish, says Robert, welcome in. But second half, not going to be a mile away. 14 versus 15 isn't the biggest problem for Ireland. Now, unfortunately, scrums at the moment, believe it or not, have become the Irish difficulty for this match. What happened to the Crusaders this week? Last week, they were brilliant. Chiefs look like the real deal. Yeah, the Chiefs have looked really strong throughout their first two contests, being able to beat not just the Blues, but also the Crusaders, two contenders. Ireland throwing this game? I don't think so. I think that it hasn't quite gone the way that the Irish expected. They've had too many handling errors, too many penalties against them, and then that yellow card, which sounds like it's going to be upgraded to red, will change this game a little bit more. My hamburgers are ready, says Albert. And as a Six Nations rugby, this is why we up here love it. Never say never, never bank on anything. And South African here, we live in it, or we love it when the underdogs perform well. And we were always in this position, says Roz, and the Welsh are back, says Donaldo. And what flavour water are you drinking, Hammy? Just playing out of the tap. Nothing too fancy about it. And yes, hope Wales can get the win. And please, people, hit that subscribe button. Says Roof, yeah, anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are back for the match between England and Scotland. And that has taken place just around the corner. And then after that, we're back for the Sevens. We're back for Six Nations tomorrow night. I've mentioned about it already. We are getting very, very minimal sleep throughout this weekend. We have already been up for around 21 hours today. And we have got more to come a bit later on as well. And Cool Breeze Tap Water says, Rape, and I, Hamish, loving this game. My prediction for the rest of the weekend, Scotland win with the one for the move, a try, and Italy to upset the French, says Anthony. And give me a final score prediction. Honestly, I do not know. Like, that's the tricky part of this game. Are we going to get to see Wales extend their lead? Are we going to see Ireland come back into it? Warren Gatlin must be miffed about the scoreline right now, says Morning. But like they said, they made a few changes in terms of the forward pack. The scrum that he has made the switch in has done extremely well. Are you going to sleep? Not yet. We've still got another probably 10 hours of being awake, somewhere around there. We have got there as the bottle job, Ireland again. Do we think? I'm an Irish fan, says James. I got to get me some fancy New Zealand tap water. It's good stuff, says Donaldo. And I kind of want to see Spain and Portugal in the Six Nations, says Sterne. And a special hydrogen and oxygen flavour from Owen Ma. But the second half, I would say, we'll just have a quick look. How long since the half ended? It's been about 10 minutes, so probably another 2 or 3 minutes before the two sides make their way back out for the second 40 minutes. Gatlin sacking, doing wonders, just shows, and this will be a hilarious moment to see, matey. It takes the exits, mate, and the 8 Nations, says Mr. Fantastic. And Wales 20-29. Wales are playing like men possessed. I love to see it, and I think Ireland came into this thinking it's already a done deal before it started. And they're really going to have to adjust their tactics throughout the second half here, Ireland, because, like you said, they probably came into this game quite confident, feeling like it should have been a walk in the park per se, but it's been anything but. Wales have been competitive, trying to make it extremely difficult for the opposition. And I've been here so many times and ended up disappointed. Wales always managed to snatch a defeat after a good start, says Fleshin. If I was Ireland coach, I'd be giving the team a bollocking, says James. Yeah, I think the main thing for Ireland will be just get the simple things right. You know, make sure you're making your tackles. Make sure you're not giving away those penalties in the breakdown. Do you think Ireland can come back? They definitely have the ability to. They're only down by 3 at the moment. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, we've seen them come back from a lot more than 3 points down to win contest. A blitz box after a winning start. Who are they playing next? They are going to be taking on the Australians. That is taking place at 9:36 p.m. South African time. We are going to be doing that one on the channel as well. And don't worry, Hamish, sleep is just for those that want to miss life going by. Says Neville, that is one way of looking at sleep, but of course, I don't know if it's the best way of looking at it. But now, second half, only a matter of moments away. And also, refs shouldn't have yellow wristbands on their watches. Thought he pulled a yellow card off the rolling maul. Says Mr. Fantastic, what happened to the best team in the world, says Joe. I mean, once, like we've seen with a lot of sides, they've had a bit of a struggle. But are they going to be able to get back into it? That is the big question. And, I mean, they've definitely got the capabilities with the players. Even if Ireland win this by 30 points in the second half, the coaches won't come away satisfied with this performance. Yeah, they won't like the fact that they were down at halftime. Neither will the punters, who did have Ireland to win first and second half, I'm sure. I'm just glad Wales are starting to level up. They might not be where they used to, but this will definitely make things interesting for the Six Nations next year and the end-of-year Autumn Nations. Are you doing the England-Scotland game? We certainly are. It will be our 5th rugby union match in a row that we have covered on the channel. You've been here since Ireland live streaming. Pleasure and respect, mate. You've seen your Kiwi lad there, mate. And every team has a bad day, says Stern A. And it's what they do on their bad day that shows whether or not they are a great side. The likes of Ireland here, first half, hasn't gone their way. Second half, we might see them come out absolutely firing. It's only 3 points, but it's morale boosters, and sometimes I feel more tired after too much. It's strange, says Donaldo. Well, I'm certainly not going to have that over the weekend. I think we might get the sleep deprivation more than anything, but like I'm still wide awake at this point in time. It'll be once I stop talking in between the next 2 live streams, because like that Scotland versus England one we are starting, I think at 5:35 New Zealand time. So this game's going to end maybe about 30 minutes before that, and then that'll be when I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden I'll just go downhill. But during that time, I'm going to be scheduling some more streams, so that should keep me nice and wide awake. And Ireland are going to have a bad day like France did last week, says Joe. And we have got there to France win last time, says Katzenau. Who are we talking about? Last time up against the Italians or last week? And staying hydrated is super important and also helps to fight fatigue. There's a thing with Ireland and Leinster bottling it, I think, says James. But we've also got to remember, this is just one poor half from Ireland. They have been, at this stage of the Six Nations, pretty strong as a whole. As we can see there, they are sitting at the top of the bunch. 2 bonus point wins. They have got themselves just the 1 try here. Right, they're just mentioning that Gary Ringrose slip into the challenge has been upgraded to the red. So Ireland will have another 10 minutes with 14 men out there on the park before they are able to make the change. Of course, Ringrose is unable to return for this match. An exercise to keep you awake, said Lilia B. And did I miss anything on the card? Is there an official decision? It has just been made, or it's just been updated, that it is going to be a red card for Gary Ringrose. So Ireland will have 10 minutes where they will be still down to only the 14. And then from there, they're allowed to bring someone on, which more than likely will be Bundy Arkey. So that will make the midfield Arkey and Ringrose, or sorry, Arkey and Henshaw, not exactly a bad duo there. Hi, says Claudette. Welcome in. If you are doing well, it's great to have you back. Now we have the I'm glad Wales have made it. So it's 30 minutes total, 10 for the yellow, 20 for the red. So 20 minutes total. 10 for the yellow, 10 more added on for the red card. And then you're allowed to make that switch. Leading at halftime is okay. Leading after 80 minutes is the goal. Wales are pretty little, says Michael. And I'm happy to see Wales once again back at it, says James. But yeah, second half just about to take place. And this is going to be the big deciding factor for the Welsh. If you rub onion in your eyes, it helps with tiredness. I'll have to give that a crack maybe. Just showing that red card. There's a big call from the TMO. Obviously, they felt there was no mitigating factors there for him. Now kicking off this one, Wales going from left to right this time. And we are back underway. Robbie Henshaw kicking this one downfield. Doesn't find touch with it. Yo-Yo Wales to give it all, says Ruth. Currently, the Welsh, they have got themselves that 3-point lead. Taken well by Jamie Osborne. Now Andrew Porter. Tackle made again. Hopefully Wales keep up their momentum in the second. First try for Wales in the second. And maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but I think they should be doing better with what they have, says James. Now, slapped back by Matt Hansen, goes straight to Jamison Gibson Park. Can you saw a drop goal from kickoff? I haven't seen anyone try, but I don't think so. And now step nicely done from Gareth Anscombe. Seems like he has a whole heap of time, although now he's run right into the Irish defence. Going to go to the short side. Thomas Williams looking for a 50-22. Well controlled by Sam Prendergast. Trying to go around, and he has been tackled by Williams. Getting himself isolated, but the penalty does go against the Welsh. And off his feet, taking the quick tap now for the Irish. Gibson Park kicks it into the feet of the Welsh, and it is going to be a line out for Ireland. And started in bed now in my room, drinking, trying not to upset the wife and neighbours. If you believe the onion on the eye thing, mate, they had 10 acres on the moon for sale. Zero atmosphere, though, says Thorfinn. I'd try it if it was me. Also generate some serious tears, says Stefan. Now, line out throw, Dan Sheehan. And taking their time at line out, using up plenty of time. Well, that wasn't the straightest, but not contested by Wales, which does mean that it is allowed to be not straight. One of the new laws has been added. High Claudette, says Craig. Now, drop ball from Sam Prendergast. He's had a bit of a poor day when it comes to his handling. Now, off to the left-hand side. Chance here for Wales. Numbers. Now, Murray goes off to Alice Mee. Now, Craig says Claudette. And he says Sherry in there as well. Back across to the right. Chance here. Thomas looping around for Blair Murray. Only a couple metres out, and Wales will score in the opening few minutes of the second half. And it is Tom Rogers who has managed to get it. The Irish commentator getting really into it for the Welsh here. And we see Lewis Rees-Zammit watching on. He's enjoying what he's seeing. If the Welsh pull this off, it will be the biggest upset since Japan versus South Africa. And well, now it's interesting, says Ruth. And there as well. Just mentioned about the shape from Wales. Just having so many passing options, but another try. 2 have come in the time where Gary Ringrose has been off the field, and well, unbelievable, says Sergio. Great finish from Tom Rogers. Maybe made it look a little bit more unique than he needed to. But now 2 tries on the board for Wales, ladies and gentlemen. I'm loving this. Please, Wales beat Ireland. I will make the Six Nations so interesting, says Donato. That was a brilliant try. I'm unhappy, but I have to admit it's good to see Wales back. What does that say about Gatland? Says Brian, and come on Wales, says Craig. And when I saw Bottle, I think I mean quarter-final to the loss to England last year. It's more where I feel this team will bottle it. And that pep talk at halftime worked. Rogers over and out, and James Lowe went low. He went high for that try. Says JD getting a bit of the rhyming going by the sounds of it. And first try for Wales, says Lilia B. Now 35 or so minutes remaining, and still another 6 minutes left of that red card for the Irish. Kick tie from Thomas Williams. The crowd are very loud at the moment. I don't think they can quite believe their eyes. Nice take from Jamie Osborne. If Wales win this, someone needs to make a new national beer, 22-2, says Jaden. And if Wales win this, England probably win the Six Nations, says JP. Although, of course, like if Ireland beat France, then they are still right up there in terms of contenders, seeing as the Irish were able to beat England in round 1. But it certainly would make it a lot more intriguing for the next few moments. And Scotland going to meet a determined English team, and Wales for the 2020 World Cup finalists. It's going to be kicked in behind by Ireland, just forcing the Welsh back that little bit further. I wonder how much Gatland was paid to lose, says Neville. And Ireland in 2000 came back against France with a lesser team, says James. Yeah, this game is far from over. Like, 8 points is a lovely margin to be up by, but there's still another 35 minutes. There's still the switches off the bench, which could be a bit of a game changer. Tackle made by Thomas Clarkson. And England beats Scotland, Italy and Wales. Sayers power bite. But yeah, with that loss to Ireland, you see that's where the bonus points can come into it. And it would certainly make that Ireland versus France game more intriguing if that was how it sat. And stay focused, boys. Ireland fight back. Sayers a JD. Now kicking towards the touchline, Thomas Williams, nice clearance. And even if Wales lose, it's a big message that's been sent. Says Sergio, it is, but at the same time, like, people will forget, if that makes sense, unless they win this one here. Like, yes, we know because it's just happened and we were here for the match, but people who aren't watching this contest, if Ireland pull off the win, will go, okay, Wales lost, it's the same old. But this has been different for the Welsh. This is probably the best they have looked in a long time, and they have stolen the line out just to knock it on from Thomas Williams about 2 seconds later. Little kick downfield from Josh Van den Fleur, and they will go back for the scrum. And remember, New Zealand come back from worse 19-0, says James. Aki will come on, and rest of the bench may well join him, says Kurno Vic. And agree, people will forget, but other nations will keep this in mind. Haven't seen this in a while from Wales, says Sergio. You should shave your head and eyebrows off for the next stream. I'll do it if you do. I'm all right. Even though, of course, it would be such a fun thing to do just for one random live stream. But no, we better leave the hair on. Now Dan Sheehan, nicely taken at the front. Now Van der Fleur goes off to Jameson, Gibson Park, James Lowe. Now supporting France, come on Wales, says Joshua. Another pick and go here from Ireland. They're starting to bulldoze their way towards the try line. This will be huge news if Wales beat Ireland, says Craig. Just joined, sorry. Have I gone back in time, rubbing my eyes? Come on, boys, says Tom. It's going to be an advantage now in favour of the Irish. Prendergast, skip pass out to Jamie Osborne. Just stays in the field of play. Gets it away to Henshaw. Big salad dummy from Jameson, Gibson Park. Well, you reckon, Claudette? Says Craig. Now off to the right again. Pop pass from Sheehan. Prendergast got it in behind him, and I think he's dropped that ball. Yes, he did. But it looks like it's going to be play on. No, now they are going back. Looks like it's going to be straight out in front. This would close the gap. 2 minutes 20 remaining. Whether or not they are willing to go too aggressive here is soon to be determined. Right, they're taking on the 3 to get them back within the 7, and also that uses up more time of that red card. Only just over the 2 minutes remaining. I think 3 points of the way back. A drop goal way back. And can you imagine the party if Wales managed to win this? It would be absolutely massive. Just green screen some fake Huron, says Donaldo. I could, but at the same time, I could just not shave my head and eyebrows off, as you said. I don't know why you chucked in the eyebrows as well. If you just said the head, then, you know, maybe you could have eventually convinced me. But to take off the eyebrows too just does seem a bit excessive. Is James Lowe playing? He is. He hasn't had a huge amount of possession. How's this random guys? These bets Blaze. Welcome back, mate. It has been quite some time since we've seen you, but hopefully you have been keeping well. Been to the shops and away from the screen for 20 minutes. What is going on? Let's go Wales, says Yarko. Time for Crowley to come on, says Kurno Wick. You got to love lesser ranked teams putting up a proper fight against the high ranked teams. I hope we do win. I have a gig tonight, says Tiger. We have got there. Can you imagine the party if Wales win this? It sounds like most Wales players. Now, Finley BLM, he has come onto the field. That is for Thomas Clarkson. Wales decide against taking the quick throw. Bundyaki clapping in the background. I think he should start warming up. He's on the field in a minute. Does he realise that? Or are they going to bring on someone else instead for the replacement of Gary Ringrose? Bundyaki looks like he is as nonchalant about making his way onto the field, if he is, and any player we have seen. Maybe they don't know the 20-minute red card rule is in effect. Surely they would, though. I have indeed returned after being busy for a lot of stuff. Says Pezza. Well, it is great to see you. Nicely thrown by Wales. Wasn't the straightest, but no contest. So it does mean that it's allowed. That is a pop pass looking flat for the Welsh on the halfway line. Now Thomas going in behind here, short pass. Now another missed tackle from James Lowe. Offload on the inside. Tom Rogers goes off to Thomas Williams. Offloads it up. And again, Wales will look to strike just before the opposition are back to their full contingency. Now, Ellis Mee goes on the outside. That looked like it almost was a knock-on from Blair Murray, or maybe he just moved his hand away in time. Wales passed. So Ireland. How they are, because they have won their games, and that is going to be the penalty going the way now of the Irish. And Robbie Henshaw having to work hard for that one. I believe that is going to be the red card timer up, which would then mean that they are able to bring Bundy back on. Bundy on the bench, yes he is. I believe this is now when we will see him, at least I thought, now he's doing a couple jumps. Bundy Aki, I thought he would have been prepared a lot earlier. That kick has gone out. And a lovely reading, all the support for the Welsh. Fingers crossed for them. But there is a long way to go. Come on, lads. Going to sleep. But I better stop by and see you how you are doing. We're doing very well. We're on a bit of a streaming marathon at the moment. It'll be about 25, 26 hours across the weekend. It's going to be a hell of a result. Maybe even the result of 2025, and it hasn't even started. Says Yako. But Ireland now back to the 15 on the field, and they are only down by less than 7. Loose ball picked up by Mac Hansen. Thought about going for a kick, instead will look to run this one. Tries to get round the outside of Talupe Faletau. The score is 18 points to 13. It certainly is. Looks like the scoreboard hasn't quite updated itself. Now flat ball off to Josh Van den Flair. Now Gibson Park. Behind Prendergast, just playing a bit of territory and allowing that ball to go out was Ellis Mee. I've taken up golf, by the way. Well, hopefully you're going all right. And the golf can be very calming, but also at the same time can be extremely frustrating. Why can't we see the game? Due to licensing, any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube for copyright infringement. We are allowed to commentate like we are here, but yeah, any match footage or anything gets you taken straight down. So that's the reasoning behind it. But depending on where you are in the world, might depend on your options for being able to watch. So I would recommend having a bit of a look around, seeing what you can find. What a game. Good chat, says JD. Now throwing this one in. Joe McCarthy has gone off the field. That is for James Ryan. Looked like a bit of a pre-engagement from Ireland, but in fact they're going to get the knock-on penalty, the knock-on scrum in their favour. Will Griff John's just gone off for Henry Thomas. We saw how dominant the scrum of Wales was in the first half. See, that's actually slapped out by Joe McCarthy. I don't know how legal he did that. I think they're going to have to check this. The crowd are not too happy with it. I think that this has potential of being reversed. They're looking at the replay now, but Talupe Faletau, just straight in through the side, playing it in the air. From Joe McCarthy, there is absolutely nothing legal about that. Principality Stadium, they've all picked up on it. Still in the air is the comment from Christoph Ridley, and Six Nations at its best, so please the Welsh are at it again. Our rugby pre-season has started, and first to early, because ground is like concrete, and second both thumbs are stuffed. I don't know how well I will do, says Patsy. Well, hopefully it goes all right, so this is going to be a penalty to the Welsh now. They have overruled it. I thought they just said that McCarthy had gone off the field for James Ryan, but maybe that was Tyke Burnoff for Ryan instead. And Wales, we need a try from South African supporters. And come on, Wales, says Craig. And there as well. Now chance here again. And Red Dragons keep on making me proud of you, says Naomi. There's a big chance here. Yeah, now that is very illegal from Joe McCarthy. I'm surprised that they didn't spot that at the time it took place. And how does this game affect selection for the British and Irish Lions, says JP? I mean, we could see a couple more Welshmen making their way in, as long as they are consistently going strong up until, the end of the comp. But that's the big thing, is consistency. Have to be able to find it. But now it's going to be a chance under the high ball for Jamie Osborne. Takes it just inside of the Irish half. We're already up to 53 minutes in this match, ladies and gentlemen. Now off to Finley Beelum. Will run it hard again. Gibson Park goes back across to Prendergast in the pocket. That's a great kick. And it's a 50-22 for Ireland. Not happy about it out there for Max Llewellyn, who I believe was back covering. Do fingers itch. Plays some Rugby 25 on hard mode for 6 hours straight, says Xander. Not exactly. I mean, I'd like to continue the career mode that we did. We actually started another one too, but because the team that we did it with weren't really face scanned, I don't think we'll be releasing it just yet. But, yeah, interesting game. Hopefully gets better as time goes on. It would be nice to have a great rugby game. Thrown in by Dan Sheehan. Now well claimed, going off to the left-hand side, Peter O'Mahony. I think I got the in the wrong place there, but I'll be sitting 10 metres out. Ireland searching for another try. Rugby 25 sucks. It's not great at the moment, but hopefully it has potential to be good. I'm at least hopeful anyway. And coming Ireland love from South Africa, and some kick from Prendergast, looking for the cross kick up high. James Lowe slaps it back into the hands of Osborne. They'll check it just to make sure that Lowe wasn't out, but I believe he was still in the air, and Ireland bring it back to 18 all. That's exactly what they wanted. The gameplay is actually good. As you see, Pollard, he has the most photo gravity. And we have got there, they should just remember Rugby 08, damn it. Why don't these developers listen to the consumer? Says Yako, it's because they're not actually, like, they've tried to do some from Rugby 08 and whatnot, but they're not actually allowed to copy it game for game, or else they will probably get sued. So that's the biggest problem. Because of the companies who were doing Rugby 08, it's not actually EA per se, like they were just the publisher, which a lot of people don't really know, but it was actually a different company who created the game, so they would probably not be happy if someone copied theirs. Prendergast misses away to the side. Rugby play like Rugby World Cup 2011 in Rugby 25. An Irish back, this is so nerve-wracking, says Ruth. And Claudette, says Craig. In there again. And Prendergast, excuse my spelling, the kid has a lot of potential, big future, says JD. Will this be a repeat of 2003 game? Ireland 25, Wales 24. There's a chance at the moment. So another 23 or so minutes remaining. Tommy Reffel, he will make his way off. But Wales are well and truly in this. But this is normally when Ireland become their most dangerous. In that last 20 minutes, did Ireland select their main players, or is Welsh simply outplaying them? Like, this is pretty much the Irish starting side, with the exception of Aki coming off the bench. And you could maybe make an argument that because Doris isn't in the loose forward trio and Clarkson's playing 3, but honestly, it's a strong Irish side that have at times been outperformed by this Welsh team, which has a little bit of everything in it. I'm not happy how the Wales team are letting them get into the game. There's Pat there. Now, Matt Canson. Now, looks like James Lowe will kick this one downfield again into the 22, and the mark is called by the young 22. On this one, it is Jared Evans. I think he's one of the about 3 changes that we've seen. Did they successfully convert? They missed away to the side. And with some great games in Super Rugby this week. Yeah, some really strong contests, keeping the competition well and truly hyped up. Hamish, put the water away and treat yourself to a 5-year-old brandy and biltong. In your case, a kiwi mince and double cheese pie, says Xander. And Ireland going to start slipping into top gear now, says Yako. And that is going to be an advantage, though, going against Bundy Aki in the breakdown. Wales going for the cross kick straight into touch. They will go back for that original penalty. Stephen Larkham, that young kid, Prendergast. And like in music, you have the artist, you have the record label, software developer, and publisher. Exactly. So, yeah, it's sadly not as simple as just remake the game exactly how it was, and then you're all good to go. Like, there's a few legal issues that you run into. Have you been watching Keeping Up with the Cricket? I have been watching quite a bit of the cricket as of late. Where can you watch this pirated? There's probably some random sites that you might end up picking up a virus from, I would say, but like you'd probably find it somewhere. I just recommend being very careful. When we have your first cup of coffee ever, I don't even know if I will, to be honest. Like, I run all right without caffeine, so I don't know if I really need to add it. Are you from South Africa? I am not, no. But now, chance here. Gonna be Thomas Williams, all drop ball, but it has travelled backwards, they say. And I've just said it's been a forward pass. We've been looking pretty good. And I'm glad to see your consistency. Says Ivan, welcome in. We're definitely up there to win it this year. It says Upheads Blaze too. Right, time is off again. Looks like Bundyaki has had a bit of a bump to the nose. Have you been offered to do commentary at the stadium? If not, why not, says Divan. I have not, no. Are you concerned about your kidneys with all the water you drink? Once you go brandy, you never go back, says Xander. Not really. Like, this bottle isn't as big as it looks. Like, it doesn't look very big, but it's also pretty crushed, so it's only like 500 mils maybe in it. Hamish needs orange juice. It looks like there is about to be another change here for the Welsh. Plenty of time left in this contest. The last quarter is just about upon us. Hamish is definitely South African. He is our brother. And right, sleep time. Got golf tomorrow, so I better sleep. Do you drink alcohol, says Lilia B? Not really, no. Like, every time that I've considered it, like in terms of a weekend, we normally have about 20 streams to do, so then, like, it's just easier to have a clear mind for it. Who are you cheering for? Who would you prefer to win? I mean, the Irish came in as massive favourites. Wales have given them a real good game throughout this first little while. But the thing is, like, for the sake of the Six Nations, it would be better for Wales to win. But whether or not that can happen is going to be very challenging. Wales for the win, says KR. Good night, Hammy Roof and chat. Behave or I'll bark at you. Wait, what? Says Badza and Sean Maloney. As the worst commentator in the world, you should have his job, says Power Bite. Now the possession for the Irish on the halfway line. Now Joe McCarthy crashing the ball forward. Italy was a great team in the last year's Six Nations. They're not playing the way they should. Now gives a bark again, goes back. Henshaw, Bundyaki, skip pass out wide to James Lowe. Keeps himself in the field of play, but Tom Rogers onto the ball, all but had the turnover. And he did, in fact. No, it's a neck roll, is what they've called it. Do you prefer it work for yourself? As in, like for the YouTube side of things? Because this is not my job. This is my, like, more so my hobby. To work a normal job during the week. Wales winning will be a massive statement, says T7. We don't want Hamish saying the name's wrong or yawning too much with the booze. And what's the score? At the moment, the score is 18-18 after 60 minutes. I do think Ireland will run away with it, says Andres. And Ireland are professional heartbreakers. Very typical for them to wrestle the game away in the latter minutes. But I hope Wales do the job. And also, yes, if Wales win, I'm going to move there. There you go. Could be a move on the cards here then. Now Wales sitting about 30 metres out. And seriously, Hamish, to commentate on the game and talk to the chat, you will find our TV commentary easy, says Powerbyte. It'd probably be less multitasking, to be fair. An Irish fan thought Ireland would run away with it 60 minutes ago. Metres conceded from penalties. Ireland have conceded 200 metres from the penalties, whereas Wales have only conceded 50.8. So that is quite a telling factor. Do you ever imagine your hobby would boom the way it has? Says Lilia B. Honestly, not really. Like, we just started off doing a bit of rugby gaming, and then someone randomly said, hey, you should try commentating a game or like doing a watch along. And then that was about 1,200 or 1,600 live streams ago. So yeah, there's been a bit of talking going on since then. Thomas Williams, again, will shift this one to the left-hand side. Wales are on the verge of being able to get another breakthrough. Now Thomas Williams, cross to Aaron Wainwright, who's made his way on. Out to the right again, shoveling this ball on. Ben Thomas, inside ball to Jack Morgan, shut down by Tyke Byrne. Not a lot of time remaining in this match now. And now, Lupe Falatau, that looked like an extended forearm a little bit towards Josh Van den Vlaer. Irish plastic fans are quite annoying. Irish rugby people are good sorts. Says power by. Now Wales shifting it again. Thomas with the offload. It's gone through the hands of Joe Roberts though. Needed to hang on to that one. Are you going to be live when the Storms play the Bulls? Yes, we are indeed. So the Irish out of luck. Or did the Welsh put some chemicals in their breakfast? Says on the right. I mean, Ireland have just, at times throughout this game, been just that little bit lackluster. And, you know, it's one of those ones that simple mistakes are costing them dearly here. And Do It Wales says Outlaw. And Morgan says Ruth. And there as well. 63 minutes gone. It's like a bit of a black eye starting to form for Alice Mee. He's had a pretty solid game for this contest. Now second half. It's fast approaching its conclusion, and there is still another game that is going to be taking place, ladies and gents. The next match is Scotland versus England, and we will be covering that one on the channel as well. So anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it is greatly appreciated. You all being here. Yeah, just continuing to bring physicality. Looks like Joe Roberts is already on. In fact, no, it's actually Llewellyn who goes off for Roberts. So he might have been the man who had the last drop. That would be cool. Oh no, Tom Rogers, in fact, going off for Joe Roberts. How is this game even, says LFG? That is a great question. But it's happened. It's how we sit at the moment, and it's still anyone's game. 63 in, and now we get the scrum. That took a little while to get the next bit of play going, but we got there eventually. This game shows how big mentality is. With the miserable environment gone, in the Welsh coaching room, they just said effort and give it a crack, love it. That's what makes this even belief, says here. And defence is key, says Roof. And it's been a long time since Wales played so well. I just have a hunch Ireland might steal it if the Irish bench is effective. And Ireland way too confident, says Claudette. A good kick from Prendergast. He looks like he's got a black eye of his own here. It's been a very physical kind of contest. Yes, Hamish, Wales possession, says JD. It'll be really great if Wales pull this one out, says Wenmars. And a last try now, says Roof. Chance now for the Welsh. They have got themselves the ball. Jack Morgan goes across to Aaron Wainwright, who is the ball. Wales currently do 40 metres out from their try line. Wales under Gats lose every game on purpose reason. Get rid of Gats, and Ireland zombies are coming back to their nest, says Drape. I love it when a game surprises us. Nice take from James Lowe and a big hit on him, but he manages to spin out of it, put the kick in behind. Wales now forced back into their own 22. The youngster here will kick it towards the touchline, and it's a decent clearing kick. Rugby World Cup 2027 winner prediction. Honestly, I think it's too far out. Of course, the box will be up there. I think that the AB won't be a mile off, and maybe even France, or maybe, I don't know about Ireland, just because a few of their older guys will probably almost retire by 2027. But it's whether or not these young guys like Prendergast and Jamie Osborne can continue in the right direction. Alice Mee is 21 but looks 12, says Neville. The BBC panel are rooting for Wales, says Barton. It's a pretty bad clearance kick, to be honest, SJP. Yeah, didn't actually get as much distance on it as I first thought. He got plenty of distance on the kick, just not the angle on it that he would have been after. Now James Gibson Park goes off across to Robbie Henshaw. Now pick and go from Gibson Park. Dan Sheehan sitting 8 metres out from the line now, looking for the counter-ruck. Josh Van den Vlaer with a pick and go. Going to be an in through the side penalty advantage in favour of the Irish, and Mac Hansen. I think he's going to be held up here. Yes, he is, but they will go back for the original penalty. Irish will have to pull out something, or pull off something out of the hat. Come on, the Welsh, says Ruver. Looks like a bit of cramp coming in for Blair Murray. I think he dealt with that later on in the game up against Italy as well. Hamish on Gatlin, what is your impression of him? Now you think he is an Eddie Jones situation, where he's a good geezer at heart, but he's technically stubborn and refuses to go back to the drawing board. It's unfortunate for Warren Gatlin, although it just looks like at the moment, if Wales continue playing like this, then maybe just the selection was incorrect from Gatlin. Because these young guys have come out here and played like a team that wants to win, whereas in some of their past games they haven't quite been able to do it. But off the field, like, Warren Gatlin seems like one of the chillest blokes in terms of the coaching side of things. Maybe he gets angry at the players, we don't know, but yeah, certainly seems like a chilled out individual. Ireland haven't even won a knockout game of the World Cup, says Jane Peters. And go Wales, says Francois. So I assume that's because I said that they could have a chance of doing well in 2027 if they find a young combo. That kick has gone over and the Irish take the lead back 21 points to 18. Custom leather rugby balls. There you go. I don't know what this random listing is or the random ad that keeps popping up for Flash Score. Now we have got there. They did beat the Box, says Andres. And I think Ireland may have underestimated Wales, as did most of us. And listening to you say Fun and Flair with an Irish accent is hilarious, says Albert. And that was huge. Hamish Wales held them. They really wanted to try 3. Says here too. But now, still there for the Irish. And still at Wales last minute, says Roof. Yeah, one more try here for Ireland would secure this win, I would say. I don't think there'd be enough time for 2 quick-fire Welsh tries. But if Wales were able to score right now, it would mean more than likely that the Irish would be outside of that 3-point buffer. And Scotland look like looking a little sheepish right now, says Powerbite. Are you watching them do their warm-up for their game up against the English? Or just in general, I guess maybe. Ireland need to keep the ball in the Welsh half, says Ryan. Right, it's been determined they are going to have to line out. This is nerve-wracking stuff for both of these sides. How long? Still another 12 and a half minutes remaining. There is another drinks break. So this game is going to run a little bit longer than it was first anticipated too. Now, looks like we are... Oh, hang on, TMO. Something is being checked. Wales shy away from one more try or 2. Right, a Wales player on an Irish player. This sounds like it could be a little bit of trouble here. What do Scottish fans think of Townsend now? He seems to game plan well for England, but that's about it, and maybe that's enough for them. And Hamish, I was just saying that Scotland were thrashed by the same Ireland the Wales might beat here, says Powerbite. I know the ref. It would have to be fairer. Right, we're checking it now. That is a crunching one on Andrew Porter's neck. So if there's consistency, this is going to be a yellow card for the Welsh. And Andreas Russo, did you drink too many brandies perhaps? It was 1-1 a series raw, says Gailey. I think he was more, or they were more referring to the fact that they did have a victory over the South Africans. Not saying that they won the series, but more so just saying that they had beaten them before recently, if that makes sense. And Portier, awkward. No arms, says JD. So yeah, this is looking like it will be a yellow card at least. Wait, chest, then it hits the head. Oh, you notice? Wait. There's 2 tacklers. Oh, wow. It's not even foul play. Consistency is key. But I don't know if that was consistent. A Welsh yellow will definitely cost them a game. Well, they've decided to not give them one. They want to see this one go down to the wire as well. Just leaves the decision to the person on the field. Ave off TMO, says Spider Mick. And yellow, not red, I think, says Brian. But yeah, going nothing for that one. Not even a penalty in that case. And it was a good tackle, says Matthew. And there as well. But now Jack Morgan going back across to the right-hand side. And now, rushing up on Jared Evans. This is great. Go Wales, says Albert. And the penalty goes the way of Ireland. On the halfway line, Bundyaki is fired up big time. He is, tell you what, he looks like he's been through a battle. His face, I think he's headbutted a big Guinness logo with the looks of the paint on the face, and then also has got some cotton stuffed up the nose to stop the bleeding. Been a busy man. Ask Port how it's feeling, mate. Captain challenge, says JD. It just manages to get over the ball for Bundyaki. And well and truly fired up. 3 points advantage for the Irish at this point in time. A try now would just about secure this game. In fact, no. They're going for the 3. This is an interesting choice for the Irish. I can understand it though. They want to make it so that if Wales do score, they have to convert. And maybe they're expecting another penalty in their favour in the near future. And Bundy acting like he's about to win a World Cup final. A quarter-final. Says JP, and how much time is left? Still another 11 minutes remaining. And Prendergast gets it straight down the middle, making the score now 24 points to 18. And going for the post long kick, and he has slotted it perfectly. The thing is, Wales may not mind that. To be honest, definitely if they do still feel like they can get a try, they'll win with the ref. Says Pate, who you talking, Wales or Ireland? And who's the man of the match? Oh, see, that's a tricky one. There's been a few guys who have managed to step up quite well throughout this matchup. I honestly don't know who I'd give man of the match to. I see Scotland have the easy game this weekend. Hello, Stephen. Welcome back with your negativity. Hope you've been keeping well, but you probably have something to complain about. That ball's going to go into touch. And now Wales have got themselves the line out 40 metres out from their line. And come on, boys, hold the freaking ball and score like New South Wales Blues. And Wales still have times to score a try. Yeah, still 10 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time. Looks like Boyle now making his way onto the field for Andrew Porter. I don't think Warren Gatlin will want Wales to win this one. Wherever he's watching from, says Bruce. Now claimed by Wales. Lupe Falatau shut down. Have you ever heard how some people in Europe and South Africa say Bundy? They say it like Boondy, I assume. Now, kicked high from Thomas Williams. A great kick from James Gibson Park. Says O'Brien there too. A try will be the game for Wales with a conversion. Back across to the left. Josh Finn-Flair. Now Gibson Park puts it back into the pocket to Sam Prendergast, who will look for the touchline. Does get it out, but I think that's out on the full. Yes, it is. And now the Irish putting themselves under a little bit of pressure that they honestly did not need to. And gets to want Wales to win, even though he's not the coach. Exactly right. I feel like that will be, as long as Wales go in a good direction, he will be happy enough. The best teams defensively should always take their 3 points. Defence wins games, says Robert. And come on, New South Wales, says JD. And give it to Williams, Evans, Davis, Jones, and Rogers. Give it to all of them. And then there might be the chance. All right, Will Rowlands going to make his way off. That is for Teddy Williams. And sometimes very difficult to play a game when you think it's going to be easy. Ireland struggling for that reason. Why is Stephen negative? He's just born that way, I think. But he's been working on it at times. We've managed to get him to say a couple nice things about the English. Normally it comes with the 20 other insults first, but we're working on it. Out on the full, be careful, Ireland, says Brian. And now Wales attacking here. Big chance for Gareth Thomas. Doesn't quite make his way through. G'day, Hamish, who's your favourite for the ICC Champions Trophy? Honestly, I feel like there are about 4 or 5 teams that have a really good shot. But either way, I'm going to be closely watching that competition as it goes on. Rogers was a great Wales pop. Used to play for Transvaal, says Power Bite. Now out to the right here. Liam Murray dragged down by Sam Prendergast. One turnover here might shut down the game. Onto it was Tyg Burma, can't get it. Thomas Williams going off to the left. Overlap on the outside. Chance for the corner. Did he score it? Ellis D might have just scored that one in the corner. Game minutes currently 73 minutes into this contest. I have no idea how Ellis D is, or Ellis Me I should say, has scored that if he does. You know, Jasmine Joyce is Hamish. I certainly do. The Welsh Sevens player. Lewis Rees-Zammit watching on for this one. Trying the corner and conversion to win it. It's looking a little bit that way. But first they have to check this to see if Ellis Me has finished this one. It's fine at the moment. It is fine. Oh, the hand was down, and I think he was just short of the line initially. I think they're going to have to check this one again. I believe the elbow was down. Yeah, he's actually not got possession. In fact, how did he... Unless he felt something, but from that angle, it just looks like a clear knock-on. Anyone know where to watch from Portugal? The best bet is the Six Nations website. Oh, this is going to be a try because they have no clear, conclusive evidence. He's dropped the ball, hasn't he? Looks like a knock on. They're too busy checking the arm. But I think this is going to stand as a try. It's definitely not a knock on. Yeah, from that side on angle. No, see, he didn't have a huge amount of fingers on that ball at the time where it was getting pressed. There is definitely a grounding, but is it after he was short? This is a massive decision, and this is going to either make crowd of 75,000 cheer. Right, they're checking to see if it's short of the line. But yeah, at that point, he has no control of the ball. Sneaks out of the fingertips. Or does it? This is the biggest decision that they will have to make. From the other angle, it looks a lot better in terms of still having some sort of downwards pressure on it. I think this is going to be awarded. And this is going to be a massive moment in the game. Benefit of the doubt. Yeah, because the on-field decision was try. Hits the line short. It is a knock-on as the call from the TMO. That is going to make a lot of people boo here. He's rolled it forward. It's a knock-on. Lewis Rees-Zammit cannot believe it. He's just shouted, what? And Lewis Rees-Zammit bottling his nails like, I would have nailed that try. He needs to come back to Wales. Says here. But yeah, other than the knock-on that they found, in terms of the grounding compared to the touchline, they said it was all good. And the benefit of the doubt was going to go to him. If the demo, there I said it, says Spider-Mick. And might have to miss some of the England-Scotland game load shedding. And no try, says Amelia. And there as well. That's Lewis Rees-Zammit call to come back to rugby, says here. Now it's going to be a 5-metre scrum. The feed in favour of the Irish. 7 minutes now remaining on the clock. The coach just pop away for a coffee? He's just come back. He probably missed that whole thing. He was probably down in the coffee line. He looks relatively calm in the coaching box. Gutted, says John, although there is still time. And Lewis Rees-Zammit, complete show pony and a failure in the NFL. I wouldn't look at it as a failure. Like, at the end of the day, he still made it a lot further than a lot of people thought that he would have. But it seems to be that whole mindset that, like, it's the same with rugby league when players go to it. Rugby union fans seem to be obsessed with the idea of if anyone goes to another sport, we want to see them fail, which I don't understand. It seems like a very negative mindset. But, like, you know, he made it to the NFL to a certain extent. He got selected for the Kansas City Chiefs and then eventually just missed the cut. But he still did better than about 99% of the Americans who were trying to get into the NFL. And Rugby God out teams. And penalty island, says Brian. And his finger never separates and momentum takes it over the line. It should be a try, says JP. But the decision they have gone with is no try. And now Wales have to find a way of getting themselves another. Rees-Zammit is a fantastic player. George North vibes. He would slot right back into the team if he did come back. He's off to take a drink. And when will the sevens continue? It is going to be in about 3.5 hours' time. Scrum penalty for Wales. Says Neville. And Lloyd has come onto the field. That is for Elliot D. It's had a solid day at the office. There we go. Cheers, rugby gods. The Irish Euros come through again, says Fleshin. Now kick downfield. And it does go into touch. I've got the Ellers, Reece Zammit, Christian Wade. It was all baloney. It's a lot of publicity for the NFL, who will never play those guys ever. Fake PR. Says Power Bite. But yeah, once again, I still find it weird that, like, for some reason, we don't like when people try and go away from rugby union. It's as if we get, like, you know, that crazy ex-girlfriend vibe. That's exactly what some of you guys somehow give off when guys try and go off in different ventures. It's like when a player retires. There's some people who go fair enough for their health, and there's the other guys who go absolutely not. I want him to keep playing till he's dead. But now going off to the right-hand side, little grubber in behind from Alice Me, and it's going to jump up for Jamie Osborne. It ain't over until the fat lady sings, says Claudette. In this game I support Ireland, but the Welsh are tugging at me today, says Neville. No hope for Ireland. Attorney, mate. More of rooting for the underdog scenario. Now rolling this one back, it will be Jameson, Gibson Park again. Does kick it high. 4.5 minutes remaining. I think he was cramping up a little bit there. Nice take under the high ball, though, for Wales. Now back across to the left-hand side. Thomas Williams. Goes one more to Ben Thomas. Aaron Wainwright. Good driving. Tackle on him again. I've probably lost about 30 metres or so here in the process, unfortunately, here for the Welsh. And come on, Ireland, says Paul. In any direction works, baby. Says Roof there. Now passed out wide. Liam Murray tries to spin out of the tackle with James Lowe Bundyaki looking for a turnover. Can't get it now. 4 minutes remaining. NFL plays a lot better than the rugby. Says Albert. Now 6 phases in. Counter ruck from Ireland. A little bit of a lack of ball security. They're looking for the ball, and Ireland get the penalty. Which now, if they kick the 3, they will be ahead by more than 7. That might just about be the moment that Wales was hoping would never come. And it's a 3rd penalty in a row that Ireland will be going for. NFL is much safer on the body than rugby also. Or it depends. Like, there's some pretty big hits that go on in the NFL, and in terms of the concussions and whatnot that we see for some of those kind of guys who have been around for a long time. Y'all got hot chocolate. Says Tani's there. And tick, 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 boom. It depends on the position in the NFL. Says here, but now a chance to line up this kick for Sam Prendergast. He is 5 from 7 tonight. And this one is relatively easy compared to some of them that he's managed to get over. But still needs to make sure that he gets it. He has absolutely taken every second he can lining up this kick, as you would in this situation, trying to get that time wasting going just a little bit with only moments left in this contest. But 2.5 minutes, still 30 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't think he will be in any rush to take this kick. And he does get it down the middle. Prendergast now making the score 27 points to 18. Separated by the 9. And Christian Wade never did anything in the NFL. The Yanks laughed at him since he has come back. He has done nothing as well. Says Power Bite. We have got there, thank God. Oh, thanks, Rugby God. Not like this wouldn't have been a gigantic boost for Welsh Rugby. And Prendergast man of the match, composure machine. Yeah, other than a couple early handling errors, he has been on song off the kicking tee in terms of his decision making. So it's probably a fair choice for that man of the match. BBC panel a bit upset now, says Barton. And now 90 seconds remaining. Wales can still find a way of getting a bonus point for being within 7, which would be a massive boost for them. But taking on the halfway line, Blair Murray. They're going to run this one back. They need a try or they need something. And Ireland to get the standing tall, says 3 crowns. And I have to give credit to the Irish coming back. Hello from Ireland, says Bad Drake. Welcome in, mate. Now, oh, that looked high from James Lowe on Joe Roberts. 2 tries apiece, though. This is the lowest amount of tries we have seen for Ireland throughout the whole of the Six Nations. Not many sides have kept them to this kind of level. And how good with the Highlanders, Hamish? Looking great this season so far. Yeah, digging in deep for that game up against the Blues. The sheep lot are done, says Real Niners. And the show gets wasn't good for them, says James. Yeah, still the best Welsh performance we have seen in quite some time. Jack Morgan passes on the outside to Alice Mee. Now counter ruck coming. James Lowe loses the footing, but they are still allowed to go for it. Okay, Tyke Byrne picked the ball up. Oh, in fact, it's going to be the penalty for Ireland. But Byrne kind of picked it up, put it back as if he had been caught. And then they got the penalty anyway. I said in the beginning, if Wales lose by less than 10, it would be a win. Gibson Park just about to bite one of his teammates' fingers off. Wales are proud losers. So Gibson Park actually getting the man of the match for this contest and giving us a massive scare today, says Emerald. Yeah, the second game that we are covering on the channel is starting in only around 23 minutes time, ladies and gents. So we are flying through them today. And that is going to be the contest taking place between England and Scotland. Another lineup at the post for Sam Prendergast. This is almost worse than a thrashing, thanks to Emo, says Fleshin. And also best performance by far from Wales, but not good enough, says Morny Lagrange. Thomas Williams is a clown, says Wales to win the World Cup. Now, Prendergast again. He's missed the way to the side, and that ball has not gone dead, so play on just for now. Offloader from Thomas Williams. Blair Murray trying to find his way through. Couple big fends. Got to tack and run, and eventually just slips over. Going for the points. It could be significant. Every point counts, says Brian. Speaking of points now, Wales looking to get themselves at least one here to reach the bonus point. Thomas Williams, it's flicked away. Wasn't knocked on by James Lowe. Yes, it was. I don't think it's going to be counted as a deliberate knock-on, which means if Ireland can get this ball back, then the game, it is going to be over. But now still attacking nicely here. Out wide for Wales. Blair Murray offloads to Thomas. And now, oh, that was close. Nice offload. Thomas, that's knocked on, though, by the big man. And now Ireland will boot this into touch, and they win the contest by 9, 27-18. A pretty strong Welsh performance compared to what we've seen. They did very nicely when it came to their scrums. So sad that the NFL pays better, maybe because rugby players have longer careers. They get paid over many years as opposed to an NFL shorter career. Also, there's just more money in the NFL. You know, you look at the Super Bowl, you look at the amount of sponsors and the halftime and everything like that that goes on. Like, there is a lot of money that gets thrown around for those. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. The end score, 18 points to 27. The next contest that we are going to be covering will be in 20 minutes' time, and that is going to be between Scotland and England. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for being here. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.